tonight's game, very experienced crew as well. Third team on the court. We're ready to go here. A must win for the Newcastle Eagles. Their final home game of the regular season. Is it their final home game of the season? They'll be hoping not, as Caledonia get things underway. Pass a little low for Jimenez. Shot clock getting low as well, but it's stolen away by Gordon.
Well, there was a tentative offense there from Gladiators, not really much movement or aggressive nature towards the rim, and it's a relatively comfortable stop there for the Eagles.
Here's Johnson. Back to Gordon at the free throw line, and a long way short on that one.
And they're going to look for Justin Gordon as well. Remember, he's played his third season now in the BBL, so he understands the magnitude of making these playoffs.
They almost got another steal there. Here's Sloan. Around the corner pass, a little behind Ali Hodzic, gets two guys up in the air, and there's a foul on the rebound. Jeremiah Bailey committing it. Mike Tucker's joined us in commentary. Mike, a big game. You talked about the crowd. It's so important that Newcastle get off to a good start here, get the crowd up, get the atmosphere going.
Yeah, it's funny because I obviously interviewed David Cohen before the game, and he was talking about the crowd here, the fan base here, how they're so good, but also how other teams get up to play here because of the atmosphere. So sold out crowd here, must win for the Eagles, but also a derby game.
Oh, what a block from Sloan, throwing that one out.
Wow, we usually comment on his creativity from the offensive end, but this time coming up with a big play on the defensive end, because we've seen those shots automatic from Hamlet when he gets in there. Those are the bottom of the net.
Sixth block of the season, but it's probably the most spectacular one he's had. Oh, Bailey couldn't quite hang on to that. Managed to throw it off the rim, but Newcastle get it back.
Well, that was an ambitious attempt if it was a tough finish there.
Hamlet can convert. A couple minutes in. We're not at St James's Park, but it's still 0-0. Jimenez gets the scoreboard ticket.
What a pass there from David Sloan. The presence of mind to find Jimenez in the corner. Wide open for the three. Great shot.
Curran. It is very loud in here. You can feel that right from the opening tip. The Eagles yet to get on the ball.
Oh, it's a good sign. It's a missed shot.
Good sign there. They've got him up with a couple of steals. Hamler off to Gordon, and he's fouled. He will go to the line for a bonus.
It's a really nice play there. The penetration comes in. You see Justin Gordon there, just spying on that baseline. And you see that explosive move towards the basket there. Comfortable and one finish for him.
And a good play to get them on the board there. Eagles doing a great job of finding the holes in the defense after that turnover.
Justin Gordon, someone who's won a British basketball playoff before, let alone, not made the playoffs. Of course, he was part of the team last year that came up short, so certainly some unfinished business for him.
Here's Sloan. Ali Hodzic has good position if he can get the ball down to him. 5 on the shot clock. Ali Hodzic trying to use his strength, using his footwork as well for the finish. Great play, took his time, but a great execution.
That's just two big monsters going at it there, and it's Ali Hodzic that comes out on top this time. Good patience there and then the strength to finish.
Well, the one thing you would say about French in his time in the BBL is he has made full use of his fouls, put it that way. He averages 3.4 a game, which means more often than not he's in foul trouble at some point. They can afford early ones against him. Johnson along the baseline, out to French. He's trying to get it back against Ali Hodges, and he does.
Great take there from the big man French, taking his time a little bit, using his size to back down the big Pharaoh Ali Hodges.
Sloan off the iron, and French getting to the ball first.
And that's what he does really good job at. French is rebounding the basketball, over 9 rebounds a game.
Nice from Hamlet, going right through the middle.
That is beautiful body control there, and excellent soft touch with a left-hand finish from Hamlet.
Bailey going the long way round off the mark. Hamlet, little floater, very good at all types of different shots in the key.
That's why he scores 20 points a game, just because as soon as he gets in those areas, he's got this high arcing floater shot, and he has an incredibly high percentage rate.
Is trying the behind the head pass, almost came off. Thank you. Before being deflected away. Durham's going to come into the game for the first time, replacing Onwas.
And this is the advantage to Caledonia, their bench. You know, Newcastle Eagles, one of the poorest production off the bench, and you've got Al Durham now coming off the bench for Caledonia, who's averaging 17 points a game by himself.
Jimenez taken it to the rim and cleaned up by Ali Hodges. You talk about Durham, he doesn't start many games. He sure finishes a lot. He's that good.
Yeah, I think that's what you need sometimes. You need that 6th man. You need that energy off the bench. It can be a game changer in tight situations.
Hamlet rearranges it. Nobody went for the rebound initially. Slow speed in transition, and the foul is called on Hamlet.
Well, good decision there from David Sloan. As soon as he got possession of the basketball, he's pushing the ball. Tough call from Hamlet there. Didn't look to be a foul to me, but David Sloan doing the right thing as the point guard, pushing the basketball and trying to exploit Newcastle before they set up.
How fast is this Caledonia team? Any opportunity they have to push the ball, they're taking it.
Well, thrown away straight to Carl. Gordon fakes the three, takes it to the basket. What a finish from Justin Gordon.
Excellent decision to turn down that three-point shot. Instead, he attacks the rim with such aggression. Left-hand finish, 2nd and 1 play of the day already for Justin Gordon.
And he's one of those players here for the Eagles that needs to step up today. You know, we know he's a great individual talent. We know he can put the ball in the basket. He's proved it before. Tonight's his night, and he needs to step up.
There's a second foul on French, and he's going to have to sit down. Defoe is walking to the bench, the subs bench already. I think he was going to come out as it was, but he's definitely going to have to now.
Well, you caught it, Dan. It's always the worry, isn't it, when you pick up that early foul and you're someone that averages 3.4 fouls a game. It's always, you're always on the fringes, and maybe he was a couple seconds away from being substituted anyway, but sometimes it's just how it works out.
My thing is, if you're French, you've got to know, I got to stay in the game for my team, especially last home game of the season. You know, the season is on the line right now. I can't pick up any ticky-tack ones like that.
I agree, and he's not what you call a natural scorer, but he brings so much value to the team across the board. Defense, rebounding, block shots. That's a block and a half a game he averages. So he adds value to the team in other areas. Unfortunately, he's also high in the foul category. But you're right, when you look at these little factors too, when you're 8 and 24, these are the compounding things that add to why you're in that predicament.
Yeah, like we're in April right now. You gotta start figuring these things out down the line, and that, you know, a couple of cracks showing and why this Newcastle team has struggled this season.
Well, I've watched all of Newcastle's games this year. The one thing you would say is for long periods, Kyle takes it to the back, for long periods of lots of games, they're right there. And often it's execution at the end, or they have a 2 or 3 minute spell at some point where they get double figures down, and that is the difference between 8 wins and 14 wins, and you're somewhere in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, completely agree. And I think there's been a lot of games where they've started off extremely slow, digging a hole for themselves, and that comes down to, you know, slow starts, intensity, execution, those little things that don't turn on for them until maybe the second quarter.
Well, was it last week against your Sharks? They were just terrible for the first 12 minutes, tried to drag themselves out of it, but Sheffield were too comfortable by that point.
Yeah, but they did make it a game in that second half, and you think if they didn't draw such a big hole in that first half, it would have been a better game for them. Thankfully not, though, Dan.
Yeah, indeed. Here's Durham. Getting back to Ali Hodgins, who's all on his own for the mid-range, doesn't go. It's quite a pace to this game. Here's Cohen for 3. A little short. Nobody in there for the offensive rebound, so an easy board for Caledonia.
I think this is a pace that Caledonia is definitely used to. They're comfortable with, whereas Newcastle maybe not as comfortable.
Malcolm kicks out to the corner and Sloan off the ball. Kennedy spinning but gets too far underneath. They're all on the floor. Away comes Sloan. Sloan faking the pass. Can't convert. Hamlet getting past the defender, doesn't get the roll. Defoe on the offensive rebound. He can't convert. Caledonia get it back.
Wow, erratic sequence of events here in this game. Back and forth, but both teams coming off empty on a number of occasions.
That one is knocked down by Sloan at the top of the kit.
When all else fails, just shoot the ball. Sloan, great little pop shot from the middle.
Down low to Defoe. He's going to try his luck against Ali Hodgins. To the fall away. Caledonia come away with it. Sloan back to Ali Hodgins on the trail. And the foul is called on Darius Defoe, who's got his hand up to admit to that one. I haven't seen that too many times over the last 19 years.
Well, the clear and obvious ones, you gotta put your hand up every once in a while. And that bump that David Sloan, God, that could have been called a foul. That actually helped Caledonia because it sort of given them a turbo jet into the key, and the dump down to Ali Hodgins, who was trailing.
Moses splitting the sea there.
Well, Caledonia are not quite a lot for top 4, but it'd be a real surprise if they don't make it, because they've got the head-to-head with all the teams behind them in the table, and they've got more wins, and they've got a game in hand. But the one thing you would say heading into the playoffs, their away form has not been great this year. They have the worst away record of any team in the playoff places. 5 wins and 12 defeats on the road, but at home they're pretty good. And obviously in a 2-leg situation, all you got to do is be slightly better at home than you are away.
Yeah, definitely. You want to build that lead at home as big as you can. And speaking of that, I believe Caledonia have won their last 3 away games.
Laid in there to the basket. They are a team that are finding form at exactly the right time. That's for sure.
Justin Gordon on a tear, though. You can tell he's got an aggressive mentality. 9 points personal for him now. He's carrying his team.
Knocked away by Kennedy. Here's Defoe. Defoe taking it to the rim. Oh, my! Justin Gordon with the throwdown.
Who else? Justin Gordon leading the way for the Newcastle Eagles. That's 11 points personal for him now. And he looks like the best Gordon we've seen throughout the years.
Bonwas doesn't go. Gordon is just slowed a little bit. Here's Cohen running forward. Something's wrong with Gordon at the other end of the floor, so Newcastle only have 4. Here he comes. In the corner. Kennedy he doesn't knock it down. Gordon seems to have recovered from whatever it was. Durham's going to test him out by going right at him.
Wow, what a take from Durham there. Downhill towards the basket. Great little layup. Durham in fine form recently.
Well, it's going to be an obvious statement here for me, but if Newcastle Eagles miss shots or turn the ball over, they're in big trouble this evening. Caledonia are so good at pushing the basketball down the other end of the floor. There was a missed shot on the play before. In a matter of seconds, Al Durham is laying the ball up with very little resistance.
Justin Gordon there, looks a little bit, he looks gassed and looks like he's done something to his leg there, but what a start to the game this guy's had. And on a team full of a lot of individual talent, it's hard sometimes for teams like that to kind of figure it out because there's so many options. But Justin Gordon's made his mark early. He stepped up, said, I'm going to be the guy today.
Well, here they come quickly again, Caledonia. Durham trying to put that back. And to the point you made, they're second in the league in points off turnovers, are number one in the league in fast break points. This is a team you have to stop getting running. Part of that is put the ball in the basket, make them take the ball through the net and inbound the ball.
And Newcastle Eagles haven't been the most convincing team in the half-court set, let alone transition defense. So this is a real area of weakness for the Eagles. The best advice for them is to make shots and get back as quickly as possible, because Caledonia will be the best you'll see this year at executing on the offensive transition.
Definitely. They are relentless. Guards are leaking out every time. You've got to get back to that paint. Protect the paint, but also get a man on the ball. Slow the ball down from the get-go.
It's a one-point game in a quarter that's fairly flown by here in Newcastle. Caledonia with the lead. Defoe fighting his way through the key, and he's drawn a foul from Onwas.
It's a vet call right there. Ant used to get a couple of those.
Well, we can all identify those, especially with number 13 there wearing the Eagles jersey. We've had a couple of those suspicious ones called against us, Dan, actually. Me and Mike Tucker over there.
I'm sure you have. Onwas is second, by the way. Ubiara driving through, loses it off his own leg. Onwas is still chuntering away about that last call.
Mike used to foul a lot. I'm sure he needs the Sharks history of fouls as well. He used to.
I don't know what you're talking about or who you're talking about.
I'd get involved in that, but there's 13 seconds left in the quarter. Here's Durham driving into the finger roll, high off the glass. Is there time for Newcastle to get one more off here? Ubiara going quick. Ubiara too strong off the glass. And we've reached the end of the opening quarter here in Newcastle. Again, the Eagles have to win. And it's Gareth Murray and the Gladiators who lead at the end of the first quarter. 17-20 in favor of Caledonia. We'll be back with in the second quarter, trailing by a basket.
We're back to the action on court. So let's get behind your Eagles.
Here's the first. Kicks it back out to Kennedy. Shot clock down to 5. Not a lot going on here. Hamlet having to work and gets nothing.
It was one of those offenses that was really poor, lack of movement there. The ball just stayed over that side of the court between 2 or 3 players. It didn't deserve a basket and made things really difficult for Hamlet to get that one off there contested.
Ooh, Kennedy just getting there in time. Onwas was open under the basket. Johnson can't convert. Bailey with the rebound. Here's Onwas. Into the key and tosses it in.
Great little play there from Onwas. He's been such a glue guy for this team here. Always seems to make the right decision. Great little pop shot from him in the middle there.
Here's Defoe. Running through. It's an offensive foul on Darius Defoe. He's pleading his innocence, but that's going to be his second foul.
Good defensive play there from Jeremiah Bailey. If you notice, Onwas isn't guarding Defoe. It's actually Bailey who's given up a good 3 or 4 inches, but on that occasion, Bailey gets to that spot, sells it, and the referee calls the offensive foul, excuse me.
And the Eagles got to be careful here. You know, Defoe on 2, French on 2. Justin Gordon with a slight injury on the bench. Could start looking very thin on the interior pretty soon.
Bunyan wide open. Onwas on the offense. Oh, he blows the layup. That's another go at it. Durham fires up the 3 and knocks it down. And 2 minutes into the second quarter, Caledonia lead the Newcastle Eagles by 5 here. And timeout has been called by Coach Mark Stoogle. Before the game, Mike Tuck caught up with David Curry.
Mr. Cohn, a man in form, how happy are you with your game right now?
Well, mostly happy. Unfortunately, it hasn't translated into the team wins like I would like. So there's still, you know, lots of room to get better and lots of room to improve and hopefully make it translate to wins, because that's the bottom line.
Speaking of improving, in your mind, what has been the team's biggest problems this season?
You know, it's really hard to put your finger on it. So I don't know. That's a tricky one. I think we're all trying to figure through it and get better day by day and look forward to the next game, and hopefully, you know, the switch flips.
And what's the mindset in the locker room recently? Is there still things to play for?
Honestly, yes, of course. You know, technically we still have a chance of making the playoffs. So, you know, we have a really positive group of guys who are still confident, and everyone's really good teammates. So it's still been a joy to go to work every day, and you can hear it in there. The vibes are good, and we just, you know, hopefully we'll carry it onto the court tonight. Get it done.
And speaking of here tonight, how do you like this matchup against the Gladiators?
So we actually match up pretty well with them. The games have been good so far this year. We beat them a few months ago at home. It was a high-scoring game. So they have a lot of good players, though. They got a lot of talent. So we got to focus on stopping them in the open court and getting the necessary stops on the stretch.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, Kennedy misses the 3. They need some good vibes out on the court right now, the Newcastle Eagles, because this one's starting to get away from them.
Well, and that's not going to get it done. As soon as they miss a shot there, as you can see, the leading team in the league of fast breaks punishes them again with another layup on the other end of the floor.
It's French inside, overcooks the hook. The offense is suddenly disintegrating.
And that's the thing for me is, like, when you're in a little bit of a lull and you need a good basket, your shot selection has to be better than that.
Yes.
You can't just settle for just a random 3 or just the first, you know, shot on the post that you can get. You've got to execute in those situations.
What a block. The shot don't reset. And Durham hits the 3.
Well, it was an incredible defensive play there for Jamel Kennedy, but the persistence of the Caledonia Gladiators, the ball drops to Al Durham, one of the highest players in the league, and he knocks it down.
That one was from NBA range. What a shot. That's 2 crucial 3s for Durham.
The Eagles have finally got a bucket on the board here in the second quarter. First 10 points going against them.
It's a big one, and it's Cole Johnson's first 2 points, and that's the worry. When you have a guy like Justin Gordon who blitzes the offense, he's got 11 points. There's no one else there that came to the party so far, so you need the other players on your team to step up, and you need to do it quickly. Well, this game's going to get away.
Ali Hodgins inside, he'll get away if you keep letting them dunk it like that.
What a pass from Johnny Bunyan there. Great little drive down the baseline, drew the defense. Big pass to Farrell for a huge dunk.
Johnson mid-range, off the mark. Bunyan comes down with the loose ball. Quickly out to Malcolm. On the trail is Onwas, and he lays it in.
So dangerous at pushing the basketball, and you see how disorganized Newcastle Eagles are. You stop the initial ball, but then there's nothing else. There's no major resistance inside, and Onwas pretty much walked that basketball through the hoop.
8 points and 4 rebounds already for Faro Alihodzic, and he spoke to Mike before the game.
Faro, some big performances. Sorry, one more time. Faro, some big performances recently. You happy where your game's at?
I'm just happy that I'm, doing what I can for the club. We're down 2 guys in the same position, so I've just got to have to step up and do what I have to do for the second half of this season and finish strong. That's the main goal.
And after the highs of the trophy final, what's been the focus in the locker room?
We're just focused on finishing in the top 4. That's been our goal, and that's what I've been told before I got here. So that's been our goal, to finish in the top 4. And we're there right now, and it's in our hands. And we've got a few games to go, and hopefully we reach that goal.
And how important is it to enter the playoffs on a roll? And how far do you think you guys can go in the playoffs?
I think it's unpredictable in the playoffs. Anybody can beat anybody. So as long as we finish with the home advantage, finishing 4th place is going to give us a good chance in the next rounds.
And what about tonight? Let's talk about tonight. How do you like this matchup with the Eagles?
The Eagles, they got a lot of good individual players. They're playing at home. It's their last home game. It's going to be a difficult game for us. It's also a local rivalry. So we got to be there. We got to battle. We got to try and get this win for us.
Good luck tonight, big man.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome.
Well, he's played his part in this 14-2 start to the second quarter, which has seen Caledonia leap out to a 34-19 lead. What have the Eagles got in response? Cohen at the top of the key.
That's a good response out of the timeout, and David Cohen is someone that they've asked questions, they've asked more of him, just because he has that ability to change a game and turn it on its head.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think if they are going to stand a chance, they need guys like that to stop being as passive and start being more aggressive.
Sloan for 3, overcuts it, but it came off Gordon on, oh no. Well, Gordon's reaction implied it came off him, but it's going to be a Newcastle ball.
Well, the referee not going off reactions, Dan, because I was in the same thinking as you. And we'll see how Justin Gordon's health is as well. Obviously, he left the game there after a blitz of a start. 11 points personal already for him.
Johnson in the corner, misses for 3. Sloan's pass had a little too much zip on that and out of bounds.
And that's the double-edged sword. When you play that up and down, that fast break basketball, you have to be willing to give up some turnovers and plays like that. But how quickly does that ball fly up the court for this Caledonia team? What a tough type of play to defend.
Scarily quick is the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Good hands from Bailey to rip that away. Durham. Well, he's got the freedom of Virtue Motors Arena there with the layup.
And that's the problem. And you want Hassan France to come over there and challenge the shot, but of course he's on 2 fouls and he wasn't even looking at the ball on that occasion. But that's another plus. When you push the basketball, if you don't get anything initially, you've got so much more time on the shot clock.
Cohen got too far underneath, hit the bottom of the board with that. Durham for 3 off the mark. Gordon into the key for 2.
The big man coming back off the bench after that first quarter injury, but picking up where he left off. Great little take, Euro step with the left-hand finish.
Sloan and Cohen battling.
Sloan and Cohen.
Foul is scored against the Newcastle man. Newcastle making substitutions with Mockford and Cohen sitting down. And Kennedy and Hamlet checking in.
Didn't know you were a rapper, Dan.
It's been a long time. Alihodzic out on the 3-point line. French on his back, sizing up the matchup again. And winning the battle again.
Wow. Faro Alihodzic is playing so efficient. That's 10 points personal for him now, and such a controlled move.
Love his energy right now, beating his chest as he's running back down the court.
Did somebody step in the bound? Did they step on the court?
Oh no, I think they
on
did.
The inbound. Gareth Murray, I must admit, I wasn't looking at the ball at that point. But Gareth Murray was going nuts. The referee saw it, and it is a Caledonia ball, which I think means they, on the inbound, somebody stepped over the line before they inbounded the ball. That's a terrible mistake.
Play by the rules, guys.
Bailey in the corner. Ooh. Sloan is on the floor. He got landed on there. I think he's okay. But Newcastle have numbers as a result. And that's going to be a foul on Malcolm. Sloan is gingerly jogging back now.
It's an intelligent play from Malcolm, though. It was 4 on 5.
Well, Sloan had given a thumbs up to the bench to say I'm okay, but Coach Murray had already called for the substitution. Let's have a look. He goes down and just gets landed on. That could have been a lot worse than it was.
Good to see Jamal Kennedy bounce right up there as well. He was the one who got most of that impact there on the floor.
Gordon along the baseline is able to force one home.
He's been excellent on the baseline, isn't he? Excellent movement there, and the strength and athleticism as well to finish the basketball when you're underneath the goal.
Looking for options, takes it himself. There's an offensive foul there on Ali Hodzic. There.
Excellent call from the referee.
On the subject of fouls, we need to clean up on aisle row here, by the way, because Todd Cawthorne is by miles the Sheffield Sharks.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
Is that right?
Shout out my guy, Todd.
You played more games than him. He's got like 180 more fouls than you.
Todd's more of an honest guy. Mike Tuck was more sneaky with it, you know, you get away with murder.
This guy sounds very salty, like maybe he was on the end of a few elbows or something. I don't know.
Durham called for the foul there. Sloan and Onwas return.
I like that foul from Al Durham, to be honest. I mean, Justin Gordon catching the ball that low, it's been automatic for him.
1:45 left in the first half. Can the Eagles get this back into single figures before the half? That will be the initial target. French going to the runner, is denied by Bailey, and away come the Gladiators again. Oh, Sloan, what a shot.
3 seconds was taken off that shot clock after the amazing block there from Jeremiah Bailey.
There's Gordon, he almost loses it. It's out to Hamlet for 3. French for the offensive rebound, nice pass.
Yeah, good second chance opportunity there, and Cole Johnson staying active. Nice pass there from French.
Stolen away. Sloppy pass really by Sloan. Gordon to the rim.
Top finish there, excellent use of his body and dragging the ball across to the defender. Can't deflect it, and a nice left-hand finish again from Justin Gordon.
Well, big play here for Eagles. Stop and a score to get it to 9. Durham trying to thread the needle. Who'd that touch last? It must have been Kennedy, because it's a Caledonia ball. It's only 2.8 on the shot clock. To Bailey. Does he see the clock? He does. beats the buzzer, but he can't score. Shot clock is off. So they get the stop, can they get the score? Hamlet to Gordon, the three, in and out, and back in again.
Wow, what a finish. Good penetration there from Hamlet, who you thought was going to take the shot, but instead he passed it to the hot hand. Justin Gordon with 20 points at halftime.
Well, it wasn't a good start to the second quarter, but it was a decent finish. They clawed their way back a little bit here, Newcastle, and with the friendliest of home court roles, they will head to the locker rooms. Only down 8. Could have been worse, Anne.
It could have been a lot worse, and what they were able to do there was put the ball in the hands of the guys that know how to put it in the basket, and Justin Gordon was able to carry them along there.
As far as their season is concerned, let's get that underway, and we head back to Mike, Anne and Dan.
Thank you very much, Nat. Yes, it's basically last chance saloon here for Newcastle Eagles. It isn't over tonight if they lose, as long as Leicester beat Plymouth, which they are doing. However, it would mean they have to win at Caledonia, at London, and at Plymouth to see their way home, and still hope that Plymouth don't win another game in the meantime.
Well, it's a tall order, so I think to make life easier for them, they may as well just go ahead and win here this evening, but there's been some resistance from the Caledonia Gladiators, who have been that all-firing, fast break, pushing basketball team in the first half of this game.
There's Johnson. Back to Gordon. Shot clock getting low. Hamlet to French, gets it away and drops it in for 2.
That's what you want. First offense of the half to settle you back into the game. They used a good 22 seconds of that shot clock and got Hassan French a floater.
Well, Omar doesn't normally miss open threes like that. There's a foul called by Johnson.
Well, I mentioned the battle of the boards in the favor of Caledonia Gladiators. Newcastle Eagles, if Caledonia miss shots, they've got to secure those rebounds, because second chance opportunities are going to arise on this very talented offensive team.
Well, they've already got 8 second chance points, Caledonia, off their 5 first half offensive rebounds. They've got their first offensive rebound of the second half. Shot clock needs to go up. Sloan gets it away, and he knocks it down. What a tough shot.
Beautiful shot there from Sloan. Like we said, when all else fails, let it fly.
Hamlet for 3, he strings it.
Confident reply there from Javion Hamlet, who's not accustomed to shooting the 3-ball, even though he averages 20 points a game. That's not his strength. He likes to get in the cracks and attack the rim, but comfortable looking 3-point shot there.
That's too easy. That's too easy. Almost down the lane for the finger roll.
On was really building momentum here in this second half. Great take from him, but yeah, much too easy. This Newcastle team has got to start playing some defense.
Well, that's a bit easy as well. Hamlet replies.
But Caledonia can afford that, Dan. They're not the ones scrapping for survival in playoff basketball. This is where the mentality of the Eagles has to change.
That's off the foot of French. It'll put 1 second back on the shot clock.
Wrong sport.
Sloan, I think French got a little piece of that, but Ali Hodgic gets the offensive rebound and spins beautifully for 2.
Wow. Amazing footwork from Farrell Ali Hodgic there. Able to pump fake, and then spin back for an easy left-hand finish.
Problem there's French is contesting the shot there, and great block from him, but no one's boxing out Ali Hodgic, who is having his way on the boards.
Gordon continues his fine scoring spell.
He cannot miss. Look at this, comfortable pull-off. Beautiful.
Sloan, 5 on the shot clock. He fires another 3, and he knocks it down again.
That just looks effortless there from Sloan. Great release on the ball, contested shot, big shot.
Hamlet is fouled. It's Alihodzic who's called for it.
I think Newcastle got a little fortunate there because the ball was ricocheting everywhere and shot clock winding down. You see Hamlet falling to the ground really with very limited contact. Those are one of those ones that you're grateful to hear the whistle because he had very little options.
Yeah, completely agree. I just felt like there was no rhythm on offense and got bailed out by the call at the last second there.
Well, it's the third on Alihodzic. He's the only one in the game on 3. French, nice pass from Hamlet.
And that's what you want. You want those high, efficient shots in the paint. Not something that Eagles consistently get, but if they can do that through French, it's a good source of offense for them.
Sloan dancing his way to the basket for another 2.
Battle of the guards here. Sloan really picking up momentum here early on going to the second half.
He's a guy you don't want to wake up. You know, David Sloan comes to the party as well. And Al Durham, of course, has got to make an appearance in this game sometime soon. You know, it's a big problem to try and stop those 1-2 combos.
Well, a rare miss there from Gordon. Gets Caledonia the ball back. Bailey mid-range knocks it down.
Wow, great shot there. Little pull-up jumper. Was very fluid.
But there's very little resistance from the defense there. You know, Jeremiah Bailey is dribbling in his own pace and his own speed, and he's having a comfortable pull-up jump shot.
You said it right there. I mean, at this level, too, you can't let guys get to their spot and feel comfortable.
Well, Sloan got to his spot there, but that one bobbled out. Jimenez called for the foul. Newcastle making a change with DeVoe and Kennedy coming in, and Gordon and Johnson sitting down. Here now is Durham entering the fray.
As those guys sub out, you see these big names from this Newcastle Eagles team. But do you think it's more of a lack of identity with this team?
I think so. We're at that point in the season as well where, you know, when you go on a losing streak, you've always got that motivation to turn it around. But now we're here in April, and it hasn't happened for them. And you know, it's not through lack of talent, and you know how it works. Like you've won in this league before. You need a group of guys that are willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. And you know, that just hasn't worked for this Eagles team this year so far.
Shot needs to go up, and it goes up and goes in easy.
Great take there from Bailey. Like we said, you gave him an easy look early on. Let him get going.
And that's going to be foul number 3 on Darius Defoe, an offensive foul.
Just almost just being an intelligent basketball player. He recognizes that Darius Defoe's wanting to get to the rim. Just blocks the path there. Stood still. Nice and easy one for the referee there.
Well, 4 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. They're only losing this period by 2, Newcastle. It's only a 10-point game, but it just feels like scoring is much easier for Caledonia than it is for Newcastle.
No, I certainly get that vibe through watching this basketball game. Newcastle Eagles having to work so hard while Caledonia getting what they want. But that's the one saving grace. Caledonia will be liable to turnovers, and if Eagles can capitalise on that, that's a way to get back into this basketball game.
Yeah, they can on that occasion. Not a bad shot, though. Here's Durham. That's a very good shot for him. He just into the key. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was pretty. Durham taking his time, playing 2 speeds, switches it over to the right hand. Beautiful little teardrop floater.
He is the guy, Durham, when you watch it. He plays relatively quickly. Obviously, the team do, but he seems to almost be moving slower than everybody else. Or everybody else is at a... You know what I mean? He just seems comfortable in his pace.
Yeah, completely agree. Great balance to his game. You never feel like he's going too fast, too slow. He's always able to find that balance, change speeds on a dime, find his teammates. Great decision maker, makes the right play.
He never seems rushed in anything, even at pace. It's almost like everybody else, the game is slower to him. He can see it quicker. Tremendous player to watch, and a great addition they made midway through the season, adding him to the lineup.
Well, he's hit one from that spot before, and Jamian Hamlet starting to feel pretty comfortable now. A second 3-point shot this evening.
14 points for Hamlet. Slow, and he's blocked by Cohen. And here comes Hamlet at speed. And he's fouled by Omwas.
Why, it's that loud in here. I didn't hear the whistle. I thought that there was no call there, and this is the block. Great play there from David Cohen, who's not typically known for doing that. Down the other end of the floor. Omwas doesn't really foul. I think he goes straight up there. He's not trying to foul. He's just trying to make things difficult for Hamlet there, which he's done. But the foul's called.
Definitely a tough call there. But great defense that's led to a decent offense for the Newcastle Eagles. Taking a play out of the Caledonia playbook there.
Well, Cohen, by the way, that's only his 3rd block of the season. And they get some points on the board at the other end as a result of turning that defense into some offense.
Taking them over the end, Dan. We've got Cohen blocking shots, David Sloan blocking shots. Little guards trying to get in the block of the week category.
Muscling in on you guys, action.
That's it. Know your role. Play in your lane.
Anachara, he blocked a shot or 2 in his time, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he did.
Down low. Ali Hodzic, again, just a simple hook.
Perfect shot for him. Got his man sealed, 2 feet in the middle of the paint. Chuck it down to him. He's making that shot 9 out of 10 times.
They've had no answer for him whatsoever if they this evening. He's been that constant, consistent source of offense they could go to down low.
Definitely a guy who stepped up and had some huge games as of late.
And here he is trying to steal the ball away. 5 on the shot clock.
On the 3rd.
Jordan under pressure off the mark. Just 2 points in the 3rd quarter for the man who had 20 in the first half. Oh, that's off the foot, isn't it? Yes, it is. Of Hamlet.
Wrong sport.
Again. Well, the shot clock reset because Newcastle got the ball, so they had to send it back down to 19 where it was. Of course, for a football violation, it would normally reset to 14, but it doesn't go down if it was above that. Ali Hodges, this time backing down Gordon. Well, a rare miss from Farrow.
Excellent box out there from Darius Defoe. You saw him move out. How Derby was looking to grab an offensive rebound there.
Here's Defoe. Kicks across to Gordon. Gordon hopping his way through the lane and unable to convert.
Looked a little unorthodox that shot, but he did the hard part. He sort of advanced past the defender, but just couldn't finish. And just like that, Al Durham, upper end of the floor, before the defense has fully got time to set up, he's attacking. Gets hit a couple times here on that trip to the basket.
He definitely did. I think he earned that trip to the line on that one.
But again, they've got 4 people back, and he's still gone through the middle of the defense and drawn a foul.
And that's the thing I talked about earlier. When you have a team that plays fast break basketball, yes, you do got to get back to the paint, but you've got to stop the ball. You've got to make that ball handler stand up, slow down the pace at the origin, and that'll help everything else slow down. When a guy can get a full head of steam coming from, half court, 3/4 court, it's much harder to stop.
Well, Newcastle fighting for their playoff lives. They will not be out tonight with defeat, assuming that things don't change at Leicester, where at halftime Leicester lead Plymouth 56-33. Given Leicester have won their last 41, 42 games against Plymouth, I would be surprised if that turned around. But Newcastle's playoff hopes will rely on them going unbeaten away from home, something they haven't really shown any signs of doing. They've won 2 away games all season, both at Surrey, and they'll have to win their last 3 to have an outside chance. Gordon! Oh! And he went over the top of Onwas. A foul has been called.
Goodness me, Justin Gordon took flight. And we've seen him. Onwas does just enough to put him off with the turn of that body. And he almost gets a lucky bounce.
Well, he went full air Gordon here, didn't he? He had the pose and everything.
Well, as far as misses go, Dan, that's a good-looking miss.
Yeah. That's a miss you put on your highlight reel.
It is indeed.
And what a night Justin Gordon's having. 20 points in that first half. A little bit quiet here in this third quarter, but a play like that, even though he misses it, can definitely spark you and give you a lot more energy going down the stretch. Air Gordon, well done, Dan. Well
I can't claim that. I've heard that.
Dan's going to get sued for copying.
Yeah. Well, he at least gets a point for his troubles there. He's trying to get 2. They're still hanging about, Newcastle. As much as we say it feels like Caledonia are on top, it feels like it's easier for the Gladiators. It's a 7-point ball game.
In your home court as well. If you can keep it close down late.
Oh, that's not going to help. Durham with the and 1.
Beautiful.
Goodness.
How tricky is he? Durham able to find a way around the taller defender, Kennedy. Great finish and an and 1. But like you said, Dan, this is not an easy place to play. Last home game of the season. These guys are going to be fired up for this. A must-win situation.
And this one will virtually guarantee Caledonia the top 4 because of their head-to-head situation. They also, their last 3 games are all at home against Surrey, Newcastle again, and then London on the final game for them of the season. So the top 4 is pretty much a lock for Caledonia, but it will be just about secure tonight if they can stay ahead. Durham to Ali Hodzic. Durham with the rebound, nearly put it back. It's down called, but too late for Justin Gordon. Well, there are 10 minutes left here in Newcastle. 10 minutes remaining in Newcastle's home campaign. They're trying desperately to fight for one more game in this building, but things are not going their way right now. They need to win the fourth. Massive minutes for the Eagles. They need to win this quarter, and they need to win it by 9 or more. Mockford turning the corner, getting all the way to the basket.
Good aggressive move from Ben Mockford, and his reputation as being a shooter has created that first step there and give him enough space to slide his way through there to the rim.
Alihodzic hooks another one in.
Good possession there to start off the quarter for Alihodzic. He's been solid all game, throwing it down, finding him in his sweet spot.
Hamlet off the mark, gets his own rebound. Kennedy fires up the 3. Front iron. French this time with the offensive board. Needs to go up. He traveled with it.
Oh, and that's a frustrating play there from Hamlet, especially after 2 offensive boards. You gave yourself 2 more opportunities to get a good shot off, and not able to get it done.
A bit scrappy. They still have the ball. 5 on the shot clock. Bunyan unleashes a 3, and it's short. Hamlet. Gordon steps into the 3 and he knocks it down. 27 now for Justin Gordon.
There wasn't a great offense there, lack of movement, but David Hamlet again, because he's such a threat, the defense have to pay attention to him, which gives his teammate Gordon a little bit more space to knock it down. Another big shot from Gordon.
Well, his best in the BBL was 28 against the Giants back in December 2020. Here's Alihodzic off the mark.
This is the opportunity here now for the Eagles, and they can capitalize on this, make things interesting.
And they do. It's a 2-point game, and for the first time tonight, Gareth Murray having to call the hold to play and talk to his team.
And it's Javian Hamlet, their leading scorer, the guy that's been putting points on the board all season. 21 points personal for him, and a big shot.
Big-time players step up in big-time situations, and the leading scorer for this Newcastle Eagles team has stepped up right at the right moment.
And I don't want to bring us back down to earth, guys, but the Newcastle Eagles, they've lost 10 games by 5 points or less, so close games is not something that they've been accustomed to be able to achieve, and here they are at 8-24. You know, if they even win like half of those 10 games, it brings them up to 13 and 19, and they're safely in the playoffs. So, you know, close games has not been kind to the Newcastle Eagles so far this season.
Well, the other thing about Caledonia, I was saying top 4 is almost guaranteed for them. The way the other results are going, they could guarantee it tonight, because Sheffield are beating Manchester 64-57 late in the third quarter there. And Bristol are beating Cheshire 83-69. And again, that's late in the fourth quarter there. They would both drop to 17 defeats. Sheffield are already on 17 defeats. And that would be basically that, if my maths is right, because they have all the head-to-heads.
When is your maths ever wrong, Dan?
Occasionally. When it is, I hear about it.
I love it when he turns it over. That's a turnover at Dan Rutledge's world.
Log into Twitter.
Doing it on the fly doesn't help. Here's Bailey. Cross court to Malcolm. Short on the 3, and Newcastle can level the game here with 7 to play.
A big defensive possession there by the Newcastle Eagles, and an even bigger offensive possession in hand.
But it's a good contest, isn't it? The urgency is so much better there. You know, that split second sharper just to contest shots and make sure you're in the correct position.
Way outside. six here at the Virgin Motors Arena. Newcastle Eagles have come all the way back from a 15-point hole. Sloan is fouled.
Good play by Sloan there. Taking control of the ball, putting himself in a one-on-one situation, and trying to use his speed and ball handling, forcing Cone into a foul. The old Sloan and Cone matchup, again.
Sloan and Cone show. We got the title, if nothing else, is appealing.
I think they should start a podcast.
Caledonia get us back underway here. Level at 66. Oh, is that on French? That's his third. He's done well, actually, after those two early fouls.
Yeah. Oh, it's not really much of a foul either. And I don't know, Dan, as well. You say he's done well, not to pick up fouls, but I'm sure that's taken away from his game. We haven't seen him weak side block, shot blocking, and he's such an explosive player. Oh, stolen away by Cohen Franzman. Mockford, the three, Newcastle in front. And just like that, the Eagles got the ball in the hands of Ben Mockford, stepping into that three-point shot, and they take the lead.
The volume has gone up again. Cries of defense echoing around the arena. Durham silences them.
He's been that guy, isn't he? All game. That thorn in the side of the Eagles. 22 points personal now for Al Durham.
Hamlet. Back out to Cohen. Mockford again. Oh! Mockford! All spring back to back!
And this is the type of player. He can change games. He can shoot a team into a lead, and he's doing just that now. And you've got to think Ben Mockford is someone they've had to play with through significant periods of this season through injury. And on his return here, able to open this game up. 10 points personal for the GB International.
Wow, what a turn of events here. At the end of that third quarter, we were all acting like this game was over, and all of a sudden this Newcastle Eagles team has come alive.
And the atmosphere in this place.
It's rocking. Shot clock getting low again. Sloan finding a tiny inch of room. Rebound from Ali Hodzic. Bailey gets it away and strings the three.
Second chance opportunities. Big offensive rebound there. And Jeremiah Bailey.
Cohn ended up on the floor. Sloan didn't seem too sympathetic to him. And then there were some words exchanged between Sloan and Mockford. Let's see if we can see what happens. There's Sloan in the middle. Ooh. Well, that. You can see how he ended up on the floor. Wow. Well, Sloan is lucky there isn't video replay, because he'd be out of the game if there was.
Yeah. No doubt in my mind he would be ejected. It just seemed to come from nowhere as well.
Well, the referees, did they see enough of it to make a decision is the question, and this is where video replay, they could come over and just have a look at these monitors right in front. We've already seen what's happened. They're trying to work out what happened. Just seems mad that they haven't got the help.
Why don't you go over there and speak to him, Mike?
From previous experience, I don't believe the refs like me.
No one outside the Sharks organization likes you.
Oh, man. Well, that's just plain mean, Ed.
I like you. I'm just kidding.
Right, good.
Sometimes.
That's all that matters.
Well, Sloan has got a pushing foul, and both Sloan and Mockford have got technical fouls. So they called Sloan for a push, which was probably more egregious than that. And then they've given a technical to Mockford and Sloan for the chatter. And Mockford, I think, just said my bad on that, because he did have a few words to say after that. Oh, no. No, I think he's now realised that it is on him.
I don't agree with the call on Mockford there. I believe he was just standing up for his teammate. Sloan, obviously, excessive push there. Not what you want to see, but this is a high-pressure game for both teams. You know, these are situations where tempers flare.
So his combination, he just turns around and pushes him to the ground. It's a minimum unsportsmanlike. It's probably a disqualifying foul.
I think so. Excessive is what comes to mind there, and you know, rightfully so. Ben Mockford is the teammate. He's sticking up for his guy on the floor.
Well, will it fire the Eagles up a little bit more? Gordon in the corner. Got another three. Justin Gordon, his BBL career high, 32 points.
And what a night to have a career night when your team needs a win. The team's back's against the wall, and Justin Gordon has delivered.
Bailey, he's just going to try and keep sucking the air out of this building, isn't he?
Some big plays there from Jeremiah Bailey, and that's the problem. Caledonia, they're going to keep sticking around, and in a close game, you know, Caledonia have come up top more than the Eagles have this year.
Well, Bailey has a double-double, 11 and 10 after that score. Last few seconds of the shot clock. Hamlet out to Mockford, has to heave it. Not this time. French almost gets a hand on that. There's a foul on Hamlet. And the fast break won't count.
An excellent foul, because Caledonia were just about to score the basket.
It's only a second. He did get a thumbs up from his coach as well for that.
I'm sure he did. That was an excellent foul. Caledonia were just about to lay that ball in.
.349 to go. Newcastle in the lead, as they need to be. Durham trying to find Ali Hodgson. It's a tough pass.
That's an excellent defensive set there by the Eagles. And let me tell you why. David Cohen denied David Sloan the ball the whole time. The screen was given there. David Cohen got away, got tight to his defender, didn't let David Sloan catch the ball, which disrupted the whole offense there for the Gladiators.
Gordon going to work again, trying to get it to French. Kicked out. That's going to be a blocking foul on Durham, I think. It's before the shot, so it'll be an end-line ball. Well, you can feel the tension in the place, can't you? Because Newcastle fans were up screaming for a flop, which is, I don't think you can call a flop on a block, by the way, but everything is being contested. Mockford, again late in the shot clock. He looks to attack to the finger roll, and he will go to the line.
Smart play there from Ben Mockford. He knew he wasn't going to be able to get off a three-point shot. So instead, that quick first step of his creates a little bit of a lane there. And you can see the bump there from Bailey.
Makes the burst. Good news for Mike Tuck. The Shots have beaten the Giants 80-71. Bristol have beaten Cheshire 87-73. So Caledonia, if they can find a way to win, will book a top 4 spot. But at the minute, it's Newcastle who are on top. 77-73 with 3 to go. Slow to the rim, blocked by French. Elliot Hodges blocked by French, but a foul is called, and that's going to be number 4 on French. He just needs to calm himself there. His reaction, they can't afford to lose him.
A great initial block there, and the second one, I think he's got another block as well, in 2 in a row, and you can see them frustrations mount up. I think when you make these defensive plays where you're putting your body on the line and an universal whistle comes in, it's very frustrating as a player. But I'm glad he didn't pick up a technical there. Referee gave him an opportunity to display his emotion, and that was the end of it.
Well, Ali Hodzic misses the first free throw. It was a foul, and it was a good one. He's missed them both. Well, there's a chance here for Newcastle to give themselves a little bit of breathing room. Here's Gordon coming back to all. Durham on the help puts him off. And there's a technical, is there? Justin Gordon must have protested. He thought he was fouled. He must have said something to the referee because he's been called for a technical, and it will be a free throw for... Here is another look. He's cutting back door. Durham coming from the other side.
He's got hit on the arm. There's contact. It's not a lot, but there's contact. And Justin Gordon, you can see, protested. Picks up the technical. And yeah, these are these little minute things you cannot do in a close game. You cannot do it.
You can feel his frustration there. You go up, it's a big moment in the game, you feel a hit on the arm, you don't get the call, but the worst thing you can do is turn and scream at the ref, especially when you're in a tight situation like this, under 3 minutes left, and your team has a history of giving up games within 4 or 5 points.
Well, that technical has turned a 2-possession game into a 1-possession game. Durham now for the Gladiators. Here's Durham again, looking to attack. Blocked by French! That will be a Newcastle ball!
Wow. French stepping up big down the line. Rim protecting, nothing easy in the paint. Great job by the big fella.
And that's what he's got brought in to do. It's really hard for him to do that while he's tiptoeing around, being in foul trouble, but now he can express himself. Another big block from French.
Cone under pressure, trying to get out of the double team. French down to 4 on the shot clock. Hamlet spins it up. Oh, 2 Eagles get in each other's way, and Caledonia come down with it. Sloan in the open court. Decides to wait. Inside the final 2. Durham spinning. Knocked away by Hamlet, who's called for the foul. And that will be 2 free throws.
Wow. The intensity. Every single play now making a meaning so much more. Is the play before the swipe down. Difficult one to call just because there seemed to be a lot on the ball there, but you don't know how much hand is involved with that as well. The swipe down always puts the onus on the referee. Be really careful with that, especially in these stages of the game. Now Durham is a guy that's been so focused throughout.
Well, he's not been here long, but that ties his BBL career high. 1.5 to play. Newcastle by 1. They must win. They must hang on here. Here's Gordon. On to French! Two-handed hammer down!
Excellent decision there from Gordon. The extra pass. which leads to Fred's monstrous dunk, which almost takes the roof off the Virtue Motors Arena.
Ali Hodges! Offensive foul called! Well, the whole building held its collective breath when the whistle went as they waited for the signal. Now, his feet might be inside the no charge circle, but because he's not going up for a shot, that doesn't count. It can be an offensive foul inside the no charge circle if he's not going up for a shot. He's just going along the baseline.
Another heroic defensive play there from French, putting his body on the line this time. These are the plays that win you basketball games.
Well, what Newcastle would give for a score here with a minute to go. Absolutely dramatic night here on Tyneside. Well, Gordon's hit the deck. It sort of stopped everything for a second. Hamlet under pressure. He's going to have to shoot. No, it's Rockford for three. Oh! Ben Rockford does it again.
Incredible. Ben Rockford shot clock winding down. And again, he popped up with a big shot.
I think there's a timeout called. I think there's a timeout called. Everything is going on. I think there was a timeout called. Nobody heard the buzzer. Newcastle going mad because they wanted a foul on Cohen, but actually none of that happened. It was a timeout on the score, but it was so loud in the building, nobody heard the buzzer.
And the noise is deafening in here. Again, there's been a number of occasions now where the whistle has gone and I haven't heard it. And neither is anyone else in the building.
Well, not Ben Rockford. David Cohen took a massive shot in a screen. Whether it was legal or not, I couldn't see, but it wouldn't have counted either way. It still hurts as he goes into the huddle. But what an important 44.1 seconds for the Newcastle Eagles.
Oh, that hurts a lot less when you win the basketball game as well, Dan.
It's a screen. All the Newcastle players and fans are up screaming for a foul, but what nobody heard was the clock wasn't ticking because Gareth Murray had already called a timeout.
Well, Bailey sort of gets a free hit there on Cohen. But as I say, that shot won't hurt Cohen too much if he wins this basketball game. And the Newcastle Eagles have certainly carved themselves an opportunity to do just that.
Well, Gordon has had an epic game for his team. 61% for 32 points. They're potentially one stop away here, Newcastle. Up 6, one stop with 44 seconds might be all they need. Durham for three, misses. Offensive rebound, no, Hamlet gets there. Newcastle get the stop. But it's a kickball, Ali Hodges had the steal, but he had it by illegal means.
It was a strange decision to shoot the shot so early. It was such an off-balance contested shot as well. Oh, there's the kickball. Good call from the referee.
It's a good spot through the bodies, wasn't it?
Really good call. But yeah, an odd decision to shoot the ball so quickly in such a difficult shot.
Well, Ben Rockford is still in the backcourt. It's an awkward spot to inbound the ball, really, right in front of us, but he gets it in okay. Oh, Sloan seems to have nudged Cohen out of the way once again. And there's a bit of chatter between them. I don't think they will be starting that podcast anytime soon.
Yeah, they've got that Gary Neville and Carragher thing about them, haven't they?
Yeah, there is a bit. Well, the signal there, I think it must have been Bailey rather than Cohen who got called for that foul. The referee's just going to, it was a signal of 34 to the table, which was the slightly confusing bit, because there isn't the 34 on the Caledonia side. I think it's Durham, 42. I think the foul. It doesn't matter that, because Hamlet's made the first free throw. That's the important bit. And he's made both of them, and surely Newcastle are on the brink here. Sloan with the transition three. Who did that touch last? It came off Hamlet. It will be a Caledonia ball. 24.3. Well, Newcastle just need to play sensible defense here. Try and make it as many ticks as possible off the clock before they get to shoot. Sloan gets it away. He misses everything. It's up in the air. Mockford has it. Oh, but it's swiped away to Bailey.
It's a lifeline here for Caledonia.
And that's going to be a foul on Durham. And all of them around us up for an unsportsmanlike foul. I don't think it was.
I think I just heard someone shout red card.
It's close enough to the ball in that sort of position that it's just a regular foul, but it's 2 free throws, and at 6 points with 13.6 seconds, 1 is enough here. Wow, what a gutsy display from the Newcastle Eagles. Down 15 in the first half. Even when they were only down 8 or 9 in the third quarter, they didn't look like winning. But what a turnaround here in the fourth quarter. That is point number 30 of this period for them. Wow. Sloan for 3, rims out. Newcastle will rebound it. Bailey with an unnecessary foul, knocking it away. And there's a bit of chatter again. Well, there is a fair old distance between Glasgow and Newcastle, but this is a rivalry that has been always pretty tasty. I mean, in the old Kieran Achara days, Newcastle used to win every time they played, but in the more recent years, it's been a little more of an even fight.
Dan, is there any way we could get these two matched up in the playoffs?
It's going to take something pretty spectacular, but it could happen. Only in the final, I think. Only in the final. Hamlet makes them both, and that will do it. Well, it was must win for the Newcastle Eagles, and it was win for the Newcastle Eagles. A 32-14 fourth quarter for Mark Stutel's team, and those playoff opportunities are still alive. They've work to do, but they're still alive.
They were down and out, Dan. They were down and out, but they found a way to not